Deion Sanders, his first few days at Colorado. I'm noticing more and more of you are becoming polarized in nature here. There are very few people remaining out there who are saying, Deion, don't really have a feel for that guy. Don't really have an opinion on him. Either you like his approach or you don't like his approach. I'm not here to relitigate the whole Jackson State should he have left or should he have stayed thing. Is he a hypocrite? Was he dishonest? Everyone's spoken their piece. No one's changing their mind on that either. But there are some new little tidbits, little trinkets, little audio bites out there that I'm going to play in just a second that I want you to listen to along with me. Hopefully some of you still haven't heard what we're about to play, but even if you have, I want you to reserve judgment for just a second, and I want us to talk about this together because, as you know, sometimes we tend to present a differing point of view here than maybe you've heard elsewhere today or yesterday, because I think this clip, Jesse, how old is this clip? Is it like 1 or 2 days old? When did he go out there? Sunday? 2 days ago. Okay, so we've had some time to marinate on this. So what I want to talk to you about for just a second here are the roster management tactics being implemented in Boulder, Colorado, at the University of Colorado by one Deion Sanders. Now, what I'm about to show you is footage from his introductory speech to his team. And boy, do I use the term team loosely, because I happen to think you are seeing the last of a number of kids in this room as it relates to them being Colorado Buffaloes. So I want you to tee up this audio. It's going to be a little bit hard to hear. Don't worry. I'll kind of recap it for you on the back end. Let's roll it.
I guarantee you it's going to be some special. We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis. Okay. It ain't going to be no more of the mess that these wonderful fans, the student body, and some of your parents have put up with for probably 2 decades now. I'm coming. And when I get here, it's going to be changed. So I want y'all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that portal and do whatever you're going to get. Because the more you jump in, the more room you make. Because we bring kids that are smart, say that, smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. One more time. Smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. That's the ones we're going to get. Is that you?
No, sir.
Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Is that you?
Gasp. He can't do that, can he? He can't treat college kids like that. He can't tell those college kids they don't all have spots. He can't tell those college kids he's bringing other kids along with him. Boy, I heard that a lot today. And boy, I heard that a lot yesterday. And boy, I heard it a lot as soon as it happened Sunday. What world do we live in now? I guess is my retort. What world do we live in? What college football world is this now? Is it 1995? Is it 05? Is it 2015? Or is it 2022? I should have chosen something on the twos. Deion Sanders can't talk to those kids like that. He can't talk to what like that? Those aren't kids. You have made it emphatically clear to me those are not kids. Those are adults. Those are full-grown men. Why? Because they are over 18 years old, and therefore they deserve the same rights that their classmates do. They should be able to move about the country as much as they want to, like at Southwest Airlines. They should be able to profit off their name, image, and likeness. And you're right about that. Those are the perks of being an adult. Those are the things you get to do that a 13-year-old doesn't necessarily get to do. That's the difference in being an adult and being a kid. Here's the downside. We don't get to come into work here. You don't get to drive to work tomorrow morning and live a risk-free life as an adult, do you? Sure, you get some perks. They give you a paycheck that's kind of sizable, hopefully every 1 or 2 weeks. You get some vacation. You know, you get to live your life in some cases the way you want to, but there's that nasty word consequence that comes along with it. Meemaw used to tell me all the time, adults don't get to enjoy the rewards of adulthood without the consequences of adulthood. And what Deion Sanders just did is the same thing your new boss does when he walks in. You get that email on Friday, so-and-so's been let go, new management's here Monday, you sweat it out all weekend. Why? Because you know your job may not be safe. Why is that? Because the new guy or the new woman, they may not like you. They may not have room for you. Your role may not even exist in their new organizational flow chart. What is that called? It's called life. And what Deion Sanders just served up there, that's life. You're able to do some things adults are able to do. I'm able to treat you like an adult. And what an adult does when he takes over is he comes in and he says, it's going to be my way. A lot of you don't have a seat on my bus. And since they hired me, I'm going to be the one to make the decision. And I don't really care how you feel about it. In fact, he went as far as to encourage guys to hop in the portal. Why? He needs them to. He wants to filter that room out. That's a room that went 1-11 this year. Suffice it to say, there aren't many usable parts for what Deion Sanders wants to do at Colorado that are currently sitting in that room that went 1-11. Now, he'll find some diamonds in the rough there, and there's some guys who are going to stick it out because there are some winners in that room, and he knows that. And here's the thing about winners. You can talk to them as tough as you want to because they're just going to look you in the eye right back, nod their head, and they're going to shake your hand firm. And then when it comes time for spring ball, they're going to tear it up. And they're going to take workouts seriously, and they're going to seamlessly ascribe to your messaging and your tactics and your way of doing things and your culture, and that's great. Most of them aren't, though. I don't know what the number is. We were kind of playing around with some over-unders, 20, 25. How many of those guys will be in this program when they take the field for week 1 next fall? It won't be many. Which brings me to my next point, and that is USC. Last year, around this time, we were breaking the news, not on this show, but the news was breaking that Lincoln Riley was doing what? He was leaving Oklahoma, he was going to USC, it's a mushroom cloud over the entire sport, right? And then someone somewhere said, guys, you're not paying attention to the right part of the story. The story is not Lincoln is going to USC. The story is how many of his players are about to transfer penalty-free with him to USC. And then we found out, didn't we? And we also found out there were players at other programs that thought, wait a second, USC's taking football seriously. They hired a really good coach. I want to go play there. You know, Travis Dye, boom, left Oregon, went and played there. So a lot of guys did that. Well, a lot of guys are about to do that at Colorado, too. I've seen some of the estimates. The amount of 4- and 5-star caliber players who have reached out, he's not going to have room for all of them. You know, you can have 85 scholarship players. I know what I'm saying when I tell you he doesn't have room for all of them. There are going to be thousands of kids in that portal, and a big chunk of them are going to reach out to Deion Sanders in Colorado. They won't have room for all of them. And so we're talking about a historic percentage of a roster that's about to be flipped in less than 1 calendar year. It will make what Lincoln Riley did look tame by comparison. And what Lincoln Riley did to this point, I think, is the most radical one-season roster transformation that we've seen, at least for a major program. So it's special circumstances, and I think that Deion Sanders may be about to set a record that we don't see broken for a long time, because I'm not quite sure you're ever going to have this big a change agent take a job this bad and take over a program this destitute. We made it all the way to December. My goal was to work destitute into the show one time this year, and I did it. So yeah, things are about to change at Colorado. And now I expect what's going to happen is you're going to hear a lot of upset anonymous parents and anonymous players start to go to various friendly media sources and outlets, and they're going to kind of air their grievances. And here's what's going to happen on this show. I don't know how the rest of the national media is going to handle it, but here's what's going to happen on this show. I'm going to read it. I'm going to say, that's too bad. And then I'll just move on with my life. It's no different than if one of my buddies tells me I got fired Friday. It's too bad. I hate it for you. I may even Venmo you some money to borrow. But what I can't do is say, oh, that's not fair. It is fair. Well, 95% of the time it's fair. And in this case, Deion Sanders walking in that room and saying, I don't need some of you. I got my own guys coming, and I wish a lot of you just kind of go ahead and hit that portal, if you know what I mean. It's all's fair now. Those are adults. Those are men. Those are not boys. If that was a high school locker room, I'd have a problem with it. That's not. That's a locker room, a college football locker room full of full-grown men. Why? Because you wanted it that way, and I didn't push back. I merely suggested on this show once upon a time, it's not going to be quite as fun as you think it's going to be, when you find out what the world of NIL and portal is really all about. Because really what you're finding out is you have professionalized sports. And those right there, sitting in that room, they may have gone 1-11 last year. Those are professionals. Deion Sanders is a professional. He just happens to be Mr. to them. He's their boss. And he's got the corner office, and one by one, they're kind of getting called in there, and they're being told in no uncertain terms, we don't have a spot for you. Sorry, buddy. Up the road, northern Colorado, I don't know. Maybe Idaho. You want to go be a Vandal? You're not going to be a Buffalo next year. Hate it for you. Please clean out your locker, though, and use Lysol while you're at it. Be classy. Guys, thanks for watching Late Kick. Make sure and leave a comment. I love interacting with you. But most of all, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's how we keep all of this free.